Hello, everyone. My name is Dylan, and I am joined with
Liam.
Kayla.
Anyways,
John,
John.
and we are going to talk about influencers today. Would anyone like to start us off on that topic?
I would love to start off on this topic today because I am an advocate against influencers because they think they're all high and mighty with all the money and fame and sponsorships. Well, people feel sad and lonely about their own lives.
Not every influencer.
Oh yeah,
like that.
Liam.
Well,
I mean, everybody.
look.
Martin Luther King was an influencer.
So I said social media.
Okay.
Let's be fair. I do agree with that. That not all influencers are bad, but I think that some influencers will paint a bad picture, saying that like, oh, their life is grand, or like just talking about all the good things about their life and taking out all of the bad stuff. And I think that makes people very like, I wish I could be like that person, and like
Yeah.
I wish I had that life, and it paints a false narrative.
That's exactly what I was trying to say about the social media influencers.
Yeah.
All right. I see it in a different way.
Oh no.
I think that it is a power, and with great power comes great responsibility, as Mr. Incredible once said.
Okay.
First of all, influencers are able to change, or they have the biggest impact, I guess, on the young people because they are within the age range, or they're what they are watching. I mean, I can for sure tell you in middle school I wasn't like idolizing the Supreme Court justices or
What?
anybody who was
What?
or like the president or anybody who was actually important. I was looking at
John, influencers and the Supreme Court are two different
I'm
things.
saying that who I was thinking of importance was not the people that I think of as important today.
Yes.
Like I was like they probably didn't have that much say in anything that happened, but I was paying attention to them. So I think that is the role that they play, is for the younger generation and maybe even for the older generation, if they do still think of influencers as higher beings.
Look,
Were you about to say something?
Yes, I was. Look, John. What we're trying to say is that some influencers spread negative emotions onto people and make people feel worse about themselves, as I said before, and it would be better for them to reinforce positive ideas into the younger generation so that they have a better mindset growing up and achieving these goals like in a really realistic way.
I do understand that, but I feel like we do the same thing that influencers do, but just on a lower level, and we're just less known for it. And what I mean by that is influencers are only showing the positive aspects because that is what everyone is used to showing. Because I'm pretty sure on most people's Instagrams, they don't post about how they're getting treated for depression at the nearest clinic, because that's not something that people are open to talk about. So I'm not sure that's necessarily like what they're trying to do most of the time. And I think that now it's become a bigger push for influencers to take action and try to make a change instead of just being. Well, they do tend to influence people. I know that during the election, influencers on TikTok were able to get Donald Trump's whole entire stadium filled with empty seats, so then nobody was able to watch it. And yeah. And that was just the work of some teenagers on the internet. So I think, yes, there is some power in, especially in in stating people's opinions. And that is where I guess we are, is that these people have a lot of power. And yes, it should be used for doing good.
Well, going off of what you're saying, let's talk about this. There are a lot of, like, say, quote unquote, challenges that people will do on the internet, like, say, on, like, TikTok or, like, Instagram or Snapchat or other platforms such as that.
YouTube.
YouTube as well, that are, either
Dangerous.
like dangerous or
Stupid.
dangerous, stupid, degrading to people.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. So what do you guys name off some of the challenges you guys have come across and how y'all feel about that?
Tide Pods.
Tide Pods, the Bird Box Challenge, where you drive blindfolded in a car or just walk around blindfolded. It's very stupid.
I did not know about that one.
What you said earlier, Dylan, the licking ice cream, like opening ice cream, licking it in stores and stuff, and then just closing it.
Yeah, that was started by that one woman who did it, and then people started doing it after that for a while.
Yeah, I just don't understand how people can, like, the Tide Pod challenge, like that's laundry detergent. Why would you eat it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that is the result of people wanting to be like the influencers or become influencers themselves. And like I said before, with great power comes great responsibility.
As Uncle Ben once said.
As Mr. Incredible once said.
Is it true that social media kind of rewards bad behavior? Like, you're popular from something you did that was really stupid.
Yeah, but at the same time, there is a lot of... I think there's become a lot more awareness for people to notice that instead of liking that. Like, I know that a lot of famous YouTubers recently came under fire and people don't, like, respect them anymore or want to do the same stuff they do anymore because they realize that all the stuff they've been doing is actually bad. And that is, I think, come more into like something that everyone is doing at this current time.
Like, there's this YouTuber, I don't know if she still has her channel up, but she would eat live animals like octopus and stuff.
Cute. Not
Is she
the
the
octopus.
You beat a mukbanger?
I think so, yeah.
I
And
think I know you're talking about.
yeah.
I can see her name.
Mukbang.
mukbang.
Mukbang?
Yeah, but no, a lot of just some things like slip under the radars and gain popularity. Like there were a bunch of animal cruelty videos. Like they would be like, oh yeah, we found this animal, but in actuality they put that animal in danger, and they're just trying to kind of make them be the good guy.
Yeah.
I don't like certain family vlog channels because I feel like some
I
of them try to exploit their children for views.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of child labor in a way. Might not be. I don't know.
It depends
Right.
if the kid wants to do it, but at the same time, there's no way of actually knowing whether the kid actually wants to. It's like in helping with the videos, I guess. So that one's a little tricky. I wanted to discuss something that you said, Liam,
Yes.
in which you were talking about how influencers are...
Yes.
I'm just gonna fall asleep right now. You guys continue with that one.
But what's the question?
I don't remember.
Okay.
All right. Well, I will go off of that. Thank you, John, for that amazing question.
Thank you.
So I just can't believe that a lot of negative influencers, people who have like a bad reputation, have such a big following and like continue to stay on their platforms and just kind of just still exist there.
I believe that it's probably because when someone does something negative, yes, it's seen in a bad light, but at the same time, it gains traction because people will look at it and be like, "Yo, look at this," and then they'll show it to other people, and that's how it spreads. And then I think that's how it gains popularity for something like so negative, and that makes people become relevant at that time, like not like on purpose, obviously.
Yeah.
but
Like some
That
of
could
those
happen.
YouTubers who just adore attention, good or bad, and they can't stand to have attention not on them.
Yeah.
So they'll do some of the most outlandish things, no matter how offensive or troubling it is to others. As long as they get the spotlight, they'll do basically whatever the cost is just to have the attention back on them and
Yeah.
feel relevant again.
Because people will kind of like make social media their whole lives, and they
Their
they'll
personality, they thrive off of it.
yeah, they'll like try to make a lot of money off of it, or just have the what we were talking about before, the internet fame, why people like to be part of like TikTok or like Instagram challenges for that specific reason.
I remember what I was about to say.
Yes, I'm ready.
You said that you think that people are getting a lot of attention for doing bad things.
Yes.
Yes. And I think that there is like a scale, and there's always like a couple of people that do take offense to this stuff and really don't like it, and then there's ones that do like it. Okay, so there's two sides of the scale. And so when there's just like a couple of people thinking that they don't like it, they seem like the minority, and so it's easier to just be like, oh no, this is okay. And then once the side that sees that it's wrong, or sees that it is like not beneficial to anyone or society or anything, that gains traction, then they're able to shut down the thing that is going on.
That's
And
not
it's-
always the case. Sometimes they just keep going on,
That is true.
and sometimes I'd like to think that there is law and justice, but it's becoming less relevant these days.
True. All right, so I want to know, what were some of the media influencers that you were interested in as a kid?
Markiplier.
Tobuscus.
Tobuscus?
Yep.
I remember him. PewDiePie Syndicate. Smosh, yeah.
Smosh.
Fred.
Miranda sings.
Fred, Miranda sings.
Yep.
Oh. I like Miranda sings.
I still like I Have Cupquake. I still think she's amazing.
Oh yeah.
I
She's
forgot about-
cool.
I forgot about her.
Shout out.
Markiplier.
Yeah.
Still
I
a
like
good guy.
Jacksepticeye too.
Jacksepticeye, he's a good guy.
KSI.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Mm-hmm.
I have not watched. I know who he is. I just haven't seen any of his content.
It's good.
Yeah.
And my next question is, there's a whole thing about how people will say that after somebody becomes famous or gains traction, they change into like, I guess, more money focused and stuff.
Not all the time.
Do you think that it is more of like, I think it's more that when they get famous, that there's more of an eye on them, so the mistakes that they make seem more drastic, I guess. And I guess I want to know what you guys think, if these people are just people that have like, that they just turn bad when they, that you think the money and attention changes them, or if you think that they just
I think that if you're somebody that's trying to gain money and you think that sorry, that money is going to buy you happiness, then once you finally get to that point, you get frustrated and you start to think that like, oh, I thought that this was going to solve all my problems. And I think that really changes people, because if it's in their mind that like money is the root of all their problems, and that like if they get it, then they'll be relieved of everything, then
It helps lighten the load, but I get what you're saying.
yeah, like it's not just money, it's other things like it like
It also can bring like negative people into your life because they don't see you for you, they see you for your money.
exactly.
So they feel like
So
if they
those,
get to know you, they get something out of it.
like those squad or groups of people on YouTube who are like, oh yeah, look at all these friends I have. They're like 30 people. He doesn't know who they are.
Like
Maybe.
the clout chasers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly.
expensive cars that you have to pay for, so you have to maintain certain views or wherever you're getting attention from so you can maintain your income.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you can still afford to pay for all these nice things you have and
Right.
keep your image up.
Do you guys think that there is a substance in becoming an influencer? Like, do you think that it is more beneficial, or does the negative effects of it outlast the positive?
I don't see an issue with really. I mean, I say I hate influencers, but I guess really it boils down to like how you wield your influence. You're either doing it in a positive way or in a negative, harmful, destructive way. How like some big YouTubers do donations and charity streams and stuff, and then others use their followers and stuff to harass and dox people and stuff. Like it just how influence is dangerous, I think.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Incredible said,
Uncle Ben, you mean?
with great power. Yes,
Yeah.
with great power.
Well,
It's all about the mindset. Like if you want to use your wealth for good, then that's awesome, but like you really do have to, like, you know, be one with yourself to be able to like use that wealth in a very positive way, because you know it could lead to like what you guys are saying with doxing people, with using your followers to get at other people just because of your own frustration, and that can create a big problem. But that's what I got to say.
Kayla, what do you think about this?
It's hard for me to be put on the spot like this.
That's okay.
I don't know. I know that some influencers, not all, of course, make like, you know, what is it called? Filter their photos. The ones that
Yes.
Yeah.
make a living from taking this Instagram photos, and they have so much. Not all have. They have so much like filters and Photoshop done to make them look a certain way.
Yeah.
And I know, as a woman, it can kind of be a lot of kind of disheartening for me because like, why don't I look as pretty as this influencer I see on like Instagram?
Yeah.
Like, why don't I have perfect skin? Why don't I look, you know, as pretty as her and things like that?
Yeah.
I hadn't been on Instagram since 2015, and then I didn't really use it. I just used it to just post goofy videos of me and my friends doing stupid stunts. But I recently made a new Instagram, and I was just kind of just scrolling through it, and I get what you're saying, Kayla. Like, I was looking at a lot of the photos of like just people, and they were just so photoshopped and filtered. It was crazy. I'm like, man, that's kind of disgusting, really.
Because now I feel like I have to filter my photos before I can post it on Instagram because I want to meet the standard that I see portrayed to me when I'm on Instagram or anything.
Yes. And I totally do understand that. I think there's a really big drive to try to present yourself a certain way, especially on these sites where this is the only, or apps where this is the only interaction that they have with you. So someone might not know you, but they will look at your social media profiles to see who you really are. And I think that puts a lot of pressure because how are you supposed to explain who you really are in just a couple of photos? And that's why you want to be portrayed in the best light. And I also have personally struggled with this aspect because I did want this to be important, and I did focus all the time about, I wonder if this looks good, does this make me portray this kind of person, like does the way I worded this make me seem rude, or does this make me seem like I just didn't know how these things would make people portray me. And I guess something that helped me with that is not worrying as much about how other people were seeing me, but honestly posting about just being honest with what I was putting out there, I guess.
Because I was with some friends back in late summer of last year. We were at the park. So before we all left, we wanted to take a group photo. So we all got together and we took the photo. But I didn't want to post it without some type of filter on my face.
Mm.
So that's kind of where I feel like social media kind of blurs the line a little bit between expectation and reality.
Yeah.
To go off of what you just said, I have noticed that they're like inversely for what you're saying before about like how other women would make you want to make you like feel a certain way about your own self. I think it can also be said about men because men will
Yeah.
also heavily filter their stuff. I've seen some where like some dudes literally like chisel their jaw towards like a perfect square and everything. And
Looking like Minecraft Steve.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you know, I know what you're coming from because some guys could look at that and be like, "Why am I not buff? Why am I not ripped? Why am I not this successful guy with this sports car and all this money and fame and you know all these people like caring like wanting to be with me and stuff like that?" And um, you know, I get that.
Just go at your own pace, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you want to do all those things, you just choose one thing, slowly work your way up at it, then boom, work on the next thing.
Yeah, be your own person.
Exactly.
That's the most important thing.
100%. Just don't overwhelm yourself with the expectations of what you see online. Just be true to yourself and what you like and enjoy.
Yeah.
That brings the question, do you guys feel like it's easier to be a follower and just go with the flow versus stand out and be your own person?
Stand out and be your own person sometimes just because I think that the whole follower concept is seen in a lot of places, but what is really awesome about it is that when you finally reach that threshold where I am my own person, I am proud of who I am and where I'm going to go in life, that it doesn't matter anymore. And
I guess I want to know is, have you always felt like that, or is this something that developed in you? Because personally, I think that that's something that's developed in me in more recent years, but for sure I would have been a follower in, if you asked me, like, a couple years ago.
no, absolutely. I would have, like, if you would have asked me a while ago, I would have said that I was more of a follower, but I think that as you get older, you kind of start to realize that, like, you know, people really just kind of, like, well, first off, people kind of like you less sometimes if you're trying to, like, you know, be exactly like them. And, but also, like, it's just you're more comfortable being the person that you are because it's something that you care about rather than what other people care about you being. And I think that's, you know, something that everyone should think about is like, how could I show myself being the person that I really am instead of the fake person that I would show other people, you know?
That was beautiful. Well said, Dylan.
Thank you, thank you. I think right now I'm gonna give y'all the question of the episode. Do you feel alienated by the content you see on social media? If so, how could social media be turned around to instead reflect education and positivity? Thank you guys so much. Like and subscribe. You guys have a wonderful day.